People do not respect themselves first. They try to objectify things, and that's why they are not careful on the use of words. And suddenly that becomes a fashion, because a movie star says, and that fashion becomes a normal word also. One should feel, why am I using this word?
X echoes, Y either roars and bears or bores.
So that he is saying, okay, how the interactions happen. He says, don't go into the artificial aspects of it.
He's talking sexually,
Yes.
right?
Yes. What he is saying is, whatever relationship you have or whatever engagement you have as a physical engagement, let it be private. And don't attach the artificial aspects to it.
What do you mean by artificial aspects?
Artificial aspects means, like you have now there is an internet overload on it. So it has to be genuine with the sense of, let's imagine, producing a child. So that's the purpose in which you have engaged.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying.
Mother's affection is fact and intact. All the remain is contact and contract.
So what he is saying is, mother's affection is fact and intact, means mother's affection is unconditional. It has no condition. And the remaining is contact and contract. So contract, of course, like marriage is a contract if you see in legal terms. And contact, of course, you cannot marry without a initial contact with the person. But this principle is not, we can see from many dimensions. If you go to the nature, dolphins, lions, elephants, peacocks, parrots, there is no limit table, like penguin, dove, termite. All of them, the mother's affection is fact and intact. So there are various, you can see in National Geographic channels, there is a mother cheetah. She has not eaten for 2 days. Babies are there. And she makes her then a kill. She's very hungry. She may die also. We're at the brink of that. But she says she waits, even after being hungry. All the kids go and first eat. And what happens sometimes, the children eat all the stuff. Then in the channel they said, another day the mother is hungry. Will have to remain hungry. So see the amount of sacrifice that a mother entails. Not only in the animal world, but in our world also. Unconditionally loving their children.
So he's sort of, what's the word now? He's trying to explain what love should look like.
Yes.
The rapist does the rapid sex. The sadist acts the inflicted sex.
So I think this is very important, that after the relationship, when you are in this physical activity, the consent is central to human interaction. The inflicted means you are trying to inflict pain, and you are trying to have a physical relationship. What is the objective? So you are fooling your own self by trying to inflict someone. And what is the amount of repercussions in terms of body, in terms of mind, in terms of emotions, the person who wants to inflict will also go through. It will be his karma, it will be his actions, which can never be reversed in his own mind. And that will be the cause of more complicated psychology, more complicated physical and mental health. So this is what he is saying is, consent and ethical and legal framework for mutual respect is very important. You respect the person, and of course what he writes is sex is nature need, it is basic need, no problem. But the problem is when the humankind tries to abuse it. You may see the bad languages we use is most relating to this part. Why we use a bad language using any of the parts of any person? Why the language all over the world people are using this way?
It's a profane word.
So people do not respect themselves first. They try to objectify things. And that's why they are not careful on the use of words. And suddenly that becomes a fashion, because a movie star says, and that fashion becomes a normal word also. One should feel, why am I using this word? Tell me, is any part of the woman or a man not divine? Has God not made them divine? And by abusing a word that is made by God, you are abusing God also in a way. You are also not respecting yourself. It tells about your own psyche, how you see a woman. Even if you do it for fun, even if you are not serious about this word, it tells why are you using it. So it tells about your psyche. It tells about your mental framework. If I see a woman as a divine person, and if I see myself as a divine person, which are made in the image of God, if I use exactly the word in Bible, or I can use in Quran, or I can use in Gita, that we are the ansh, we are the part of the divine. When we are part of the divine, then every atom and every molecule and every part is divine. How you can abuse one part? So that disrespect, we have to be very careful. And I am not only saying for today's generation, I am saying for next 10,000 years. Why we cannot associate divinity with those things? You can see many of the tribal people, they are not wearing much clothes. You may see, if you try to research, there are 0 cases of rape.
There's mutual respect.
Mutual respect, even if they are not wearing clothes. They know how to respect a woman. They know how to respect a man. And what is the meaning of sex in their life? How they will grow their tribe. How they will have a very deep and loving relationship. These things have gone out because of this word which Master has very nicely used, libeo mundi. You are trying to put makeups and many levels of makeups which becomes narcotic, idiotic. He says, please move away from this. There is a lot that our society can do in this way. That is the exact reason why the divine man, who has written in the whole book, militancy of mind, transformation of senses to divinity, has spent some time on this also. Maybe, I am thinking, he may have a lot of pain in his heart of what is happening in the world. And that's why he has chosen this topic. Because he may feel that the society is not going in the right track. He himself is a perfect bachelor. He's transformed his senses. What is the need? And many saints run away from these topics. Because it looks like he has a lot of pain and he feels that this is not the road towards humanity. The road towards humanity is love and deep relationship.
The family sex is either familiar or liability. Who sips and satisfies the sapidity of the sex, except the cupidity and stupidity.
So what he is saying is that familiarity is better. Some people unknown also have physical relationships. He is saying no, familiarity is okay. And what he is saying is that complications sometimes are burdensome. So what the whole thing is that it should be pleasant, enjoyable. In any relationship, there should be a pleasant and enjoyable part in relationship. So even when you have sex, you have physical, the love is the inside thing. And familiarity, good interaction, pleasure, respect, enjoyment are very much inherent part of these acts.
Most of the couples are the deceitful dares, the pretended attendants, and the apathetic apologists. They may be the ordeal and cordial cohesion in a few cases.
So this is very important, is when you try to objectify a person. Like imagine you entered into a relationship because of some body part of a man or a woman. Then that body part, finally that mystery is over after marriage. So then what happens? You try to exhibit a behavior which is more of an appearance rather than genuinity. And a person does not see the beauty in his own wife. He sees the beauty in somebody else's wife.
just to how I see it, or how I sort of analyze what he's trying to say, is I think he's sort of like a warning or wisdom in some way, to say that if you're going to be with somebody for just a physical aspect, you know, that might fade out, and then you're now forced to pretend,
Yes.
as opposed to genuinely loving this person, be it your spouse or, you know. So he's wanting to say that when you're with people, not when you're with a couple, what am I saying?
A special person.
A special person.
Ah.
I think that there's the contrast there, because obviously I'm Christian and I know that it has to be someone you're married to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very good.
It says that you should be with that person for genuine love, unconditional love, and not just for a physical aspect. Because God forbid, what if something happens and you're not able to have sex or participate or something? Are you going to then say that you're no longer involved? Are you then going to say that you're going to pretend or be, he said, pathetic apologist? You know. So I think he's just trying to say you should go in for the right reasons.
Yeah, say one feels bad, okay, I entered into a relationship, you know, but later on the mystery revealed, and then I said, okay, can we part away, or maybe can we come to a situation where I can assume I don't know you? So,
Not even, okay, let's even take out sex. Sex might even be too deep. Even for beauty, some people get married to people because they say, oh, I like this person, she's slim figured, and maybe after kids, sometimes it's an illness, and this person becomes overweight, and then you ridicule them, you don't respect them.
yes.
But if you had gone in for genuine love, you would actually work towards making sure they are their best self, the best version.
Very correct.
So it says, no woman, no wine. It's
It's like
no, not N-O.
no, it's no woman, no wine.
No woman,
Ah,
no wine.
ah.
It means no a woman, do not know wine.
Yes. So he says if you focus on a relationship that is fulfilling, you don't need any other pleasures or superficial pleasures like wine.
Okay, so he's just using wine as an example.
Yes. So a woman is a divine being, but there can be a negative also. If you engage only to objectify, then it may also go to your senses to that level that wine cannot also reach to that level of intoxication. It has both. So if you engage with a woman with a divinity, with a very strong and lasting relationships, you don't need to go into any other kind of sense. So it has both. It is a double-edged sword, plus and minus, both it has.
The sexual perversion is the compression of the senses in the guise of impression, compromised the emotive anxiety, creates the convulsion and the commotion in the mind, and provides the melodious melody that neither be cured nor be pure, if it has been with the intention of negligence, including the intelligence. Monitions to the mania is like the insertion of the resurrection into an object of inertia, maybe which seems to be hyperbole. There may be little fact. This is all confusing.
So this is, first of all, master's English is a different level. It's not easy to get, and it is poetic also. So what he is saying is that all these kinds of perversions, you go into the perversion, which is deviation from the societal norms, all these creates a distortion of senses, and that creates some emotional anxiety, a mental turmoil. You are in a disturbed water. Your mind is always thinking, and it has happened, and that creates a sense of false pleasure. So it has happened. I have seen people very early in the life, thinking, and then they go to office thinking productivity is gone, and then the behaviors change and they see things differently. Finally, they have to visit a doctor.
What we've seen with the author's book, he likes to link things a lot. If you look at it deeply, he's saying something and he's explaining it with another line. So I want to ask a question. because we've seen that he's told us about the wrong way to engage in sex, to say, be watchful, don't do this. What is then the right way to engage in sex, especially for couples? Especially because we talked about how, we're in a busy world, we're disconnected. You find, people or couples say that they're involved sexually, but they're not involved sexually. I don't know how to explain what is the right way to do this.
So the right way is first love. So where is the love? Is it body? Is it mind? Is it soul? 3 levels. So the first is love in the inside conscience, in the soul. Then connection with the mind. And then, of course, celebrating the body. Not the reverse way. If you do change the sequence reverse, then once the body is over, the mind says, oh, I'm bored. Give me something new. So the reverse way is the right way to engage. When you engage in this way, the respect of the person is not diluted, is not discounted. You tried to open a car for your girlfriend. You said, oh, please come here. The mannerisms changed after marriage. Is the person different? Name has changed? No. The relationship is fresh even after 20 years also. What does it mean? It means this guy loves the person unconditionally. Every person has plus and minus, whether of body, mind, emotional, but the engagement has to be deep with love. This is the core aspect. That come to the love part, and don't try to judge the whole planet using the specs or goggles of fashion. Wow, this heroine is something. Oh, heroine, after 20 years, see the heroine, where is she? Taking medications and feeling bad that she has become old. Why? You can still have the love when you are old. Why it has diluted? This is the core aspect.
I think that when it comes to the act itself, that is sex, I think that how he says separate it from the world, whereby the world is maybe just for a selfish means, you should take it as a more sacrificial means, meaning I care about my partner just like I care for myself. So in this moment, I am all about satisfying them. And if truly they care about you and they're all about satisfying you.
And satisfying oneself also.
Yes.
So we discussed in earlier episodes, what is the limit for the desire? Talked for an example, I needed a car. So I bought a Corolla. After I bought a Corolla, then I said, Corolla is not. Why can't I have Mercedes? So you had a requirement, a need. You satisfied with Corolla. Then I think you should say, let me explore other wishes now. I am fully satisfied with this.
I think that,
yes,
just to go back to what I just said right now, because I was trying to connect it to being distracted and being in a busy world. I think that if truly you're in a sexual act or you're having sex with your partner and your thought process is I want to satisfy this person and their thought process is they want to satisfy you, then you're both satisfied, you're both good, you're connected.
You are connected, but also think that you are enriched.
Okay.
You had a thought, you did not repress it. You satisfied. When you are satisfied, what will happen? You will go to the next level you will get to the next level of growth in your life. But imagine you are stuck here only then. So what happens in earlier days, I am talking of 5,000 years, 10,000 years in our philosophy. The saints who were the master of their senses took their wives along also to the forest. Why? If they are free from this need, they are fully satisfied, then only they can go to the divine level. But imagine a person has a thought which is not satisfied and repressed. It can create complication. So once you are satisfied, then you are enriched to the next level. Imagine there is a person at the age of 65 or 75. He still feels a need to have a physical relationship, but the body is not helping him. What is his journey? Can you imagine? And what is the journey of a man? He says, oh, these are all young baby boys and they are like my daughters. I see a woman as a daughter now, not as a partner. What is the journey of both the men? The journey of a guy at 65, 75 who sees every woman as a daughter, even if with less clothes, he says, "See, these are the babies we used to do in our young." What is the level? He has gone beyond it. He has mastered all the sensorium part. Where he will go after that? He will go to the next level of ascension. He will go to the divine level. But there is a person who is always repressed, and at 65 also he feels. Then what did you do, boss? In your whole life, when you were expected to have sex at 20, 22, 25, 30, 40, what did you do? You couldn't engage in an activity which gives you fulfillment. And because of this repression, you now cannot respect. Everything has an age. If you take a child, he has no knowledge and he will never understand. But when the age is there, when the stage of life is there, where you have a wish, you got fulfilled, he will go to the next level of maturity and wisdom.
Okay, I think the moral of the story, and one would ask, because that's what I asked in the beginning, is what is love and sex doing in a spiritual book? I think the moral of the story is we are all humans, and the only thing that truly connects us is love, is unconditional love. Whether that is in just at a base level, or whether that is spiritual, whether that is sexual, there has to be some form of unconditional love.
This is correct, but the fundamental philosophy of Master is materiality and spirituality are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
When you see materiality, the materiality is money. He never says don't earn. He says learn laboriously, earn enough. If you do not have the earning, how will you grow spiritually? In the same way, you have a partner, you have the physical relationship to satisfy and grow further in your life. Explore all dimensions of life. This is why I think he has mentioned this topic.
Okay, perfect. Okay, people, that was love and sex. I hope that you've been following the journey. Don't forget to engage. We see your comments. We appreciate it. Keep commenting, like, share, subscribe, do what you do best, and we'll see you on the next episode.